Hello students, welcome back to this class, composition class. It's a pleasure to be with you again, and I have some general comments about your last assignment. As I told you in a comment on the WhatsApp group, and I recommend you not to uh, plagiarize information on the internet from the internet because it's not good for your learning. I think writing a paragraph is the basic steps to continue improving in your writing skills. So I think you can make an effort to make it better. That's why I gave you the opportunity to give or to submit again your assignment because my intention or my intention is not to fail that you fail the subject. Is the intention, the objective is that you can improve and be a good writer because you are in second year and next year you are going to continue writing and writing and writing, and I think this is the best one of the best skills that you have to develop for you to be a good professional in future. Writing is basic, and we are starting with the paragraph. I didn't ask you to write a composition, okay? Not a complete composition, only a paragraph. I want to ask you, what are the parts of a good paragraph? You know that a paragraph must have a topic sentence, of course, supporting sentences, okay, supporting sentences or ideas, and also a concluding or a closing sentence. Those are the three basic elements of a good paragraph. Remember, topic sentences, topic sentence, supporting sentences, and a concluding or closing sentences. Okay, and the last week I also gave you some transitions. There are many word or transition words. I give you some six or seven, I think, that you can put it into practice. Of course, if you know other transition words, you can put it into practice. You can write it on on your paragraph, and that's good because you are going to improve day by day. So in this class, this video is about writing as a process, okay? Writing is a process. You are not going to develop this skill from today to tomorrow. No, this is a process and it takes time, okay? So in this video, we're going to talk about the writing process and how breaking up a writing assignment into several stages. In the last week, I think the previous last week, um, we saw how can you start with your writing. First, you have to have a brainstorm about the different ideas of your topic. You need to write it down. I told you to take 10 minutes to brainstorm about a topic. What came into your mind, you have to write it, okay? For 10 minutes. That's brainstorming ideas about one specific topic. I don't know if you did it. If you did it, okay. If you didn't do it, well, you have to do it in order to improve. So in this case, we're going to talk about how to break up a writing assignment into several stages that can help you avoid some problems and that compositions writers often face. Okay, we all get stuck occasionally when trying to produce a text. I know that, especially if the topic poses a challenge and if we don't know how to tackle it. Okay, analyzing the task at hand by breaking it down into smaller components, I think is a fruitful way to get past this initial kind of writer's block. Okay, many writers find process writing a useful method. Um, let's continue here. So now, using a process-oriented approach means that you divide the task into different stages. Okay, you have to divide the task into stages. And a good thing about this method is that as your text develops, you see that you need to return to previous stages, um, to make additions and to revise your work. Um, the fact that the process writing makes you go back in order to rewrite for improvement, is the reason why this method is sometimes described as loop writing. Okay, now let's look at the three basic stages of the writing process. Okay, before you start to write, you need to define your topic and decide how to approach it. And of course, you have to collect material for your project. So what is the first stage? Is to define what you are going to write about. What are you going to write about? In this stage, I ask you to write, not something specific, but I want you to start writing about academic topics, okay? Academic topics, not only about yourself, my introduction, I am from. No, no, I don't want that. I want you to write about something academic. For example, I don't know how to improve my listening skills, something like that. How to improve my writing, or probably some as a scientific topic. Um, there are many things you can write about, not only about you and about your hobbies and about your family. Yes, that's good, that's good. But I want you to continue improving, okay? You have to go into different topics, more advanced topics. I like the writing of a student who wrote about the new virtual classes. I like that topic because in that way you're not only improving your writing, but you are improving your knowledge about different topics. And that's good because you have to investigate some more information about it. And I like that topic. Okay? So you have to know how to approach that. You have to take time. You have to take time to collect material. If you don't know about a topic, you have to investigate from different sources. But you don't have, that doesn't mean that you have to take that information and write it equally on your writing. No, that's plagiarism and that's not honest. Okay? So this stage is the pre-writing or invention stage. Okay, I have problem here. This is the invention stage, the pre-writing. You are wondering about what you are going to write about. Okay, so at this initial stage, it's a good idea to write down a preliminary plan of what you think will be your main points, and also you have to outline your presentation or your writing. Okay, um, so in this stage, you are going to decide how you aim to present your argument and in what order, okay? In what order? So in this case, we're talking about outlines. Outlines. I told you in the previous classes that after a brainstorming about your topic, you need to get an outline. What is an outline? An outline is a roadmap, is a map. The map is going to guide you, is going to guide your writing. You extract the main points and you put it on a piece of paper or on your computer, and you will follow those steps. So you are not going to get confused on that way because what I'm going to write now. No, you have to follow the outline. So please write outlines, extract outlines, and this will help you to keep an order and to keep consistency. So an outline is a map, is a mind map, okay? So I want you to be clear in these topics. If you have to watch this video several times, you can do it. So, for example, let's look at this example. This is my outline. In this place, I write the topic, okay, the topic sentence, then the supporting sentence A or number one, then the supporting sentence number uh, two or B, supporting sentence three or C, okay? Let's suppose I'm going to write about one famous singer. Let's suppose I'm going to write about Shakira. Then in my topic sentence could be Shakira has recorded different albums on her career. Then my point A is I'm going to talk about her first album, her second album, her third album. Then a concluding sentence, okay? So you have to keep the consistency, okay? You have to keep consistency and cohesion. How are you going to keep cohesion? Okay, using transition words. Okay, you have to enrich your paragraph. Remember, this is only a paragraph. This is not a whole composition, okay? A composition is a group of paragraphs, but in this case, it's only a paragraph, okay? Look at this example, okay? Topic sentence: Renaissance art was very different from medieval art. Okay, supporting sentence one here, more realistic. Then I divided, you see, I divided these supporting sentence into other sentences, okay? And I provided an example here. You see, more realistic, perspective, proportion, example, Da Vinci's Virgin of the Rocks versus Boyok's Tapestry. Okay, this is my supporting sentence or my supporting idea number one. Then my supporting idea number two, different themes. I divided it into several sentences: Middle Ages, war, religion, death, renaissance, and I provided an example. This is good to provide examples because it's going to give facts to the reader and it's going to make your writing more profound, okay? And then the concluding sentence. The concluding sentence is like a summary of everything and it's a restating of the topic sentence. It has to be related, okay? So depending on what works for you, such initial writing can be done with bullet points, as I said previously, and this tentative plan will then serve as a roadmap, as I told you. Okay, this tentative, listen carefully. I'm telling you, this is a tentative plan. Okay, it can be changed on the way if then you realize that there are other good points that need to be added. So, but this serves as a roadmap for your writing. So the second step in the writing process is the next step. Remember the first step. What was the first step? Is to define your topic, how to approach it, collect material, pre-writing, you are inventing, and write down a preliminary plan, outline your presentation. You can use bullet points or mind map as I did here, okay? This is the first step. The second and third stages. Well, in this case, you have to produce a first draft. A first draft. Um, as you write, you're likely to discover that some of your initial ideas don't work, or that you need to add some sections or aspects that you didn't know or think of at the pre-writing stage. Um, a good thing about the process writing in this stage is that it caters for the development as you are expecting to evaluate, okay, rethink, and rewrite. Rewrite. This is an important word here. You have to evaluate what you're doing, rethink the times you need, and rewrite. Writing a paragraph or writing a composition takes time, okay? In fact, rewriting, which is the third stage of the writing process, um, may well take as much time as the initial writing, okay? It's thus important to recognize the need for revision and development. You have to revise and revise and revise again, okay? So, in other words, writing takes time. It takes time. I'm giving you a lot of time to think, to rethink, to evaluate, and to rewrite if it is necessary. Writing a perfect tense, a perfect text at one is difficult, maybe even impossible. In other words, writing takes time, as I told you. Now, to make the most of the time you have at your disposal, planning, because planning is essential. So make sure you set off enough time for invention when you are going to select your topic. Take your time. Writing and for rewriting too. If you have time to leave your text for a day or two in between the stages or even while working on a specific passage, this will help you to create. So that's why I'm giving you a lot of time, and we are starting only with a paragraph, okay? A simple paragraph that you can invent, but it has to be produced by you. It doesn't have to be taken from the internet because it's not going to be accepted. Students, writing is not only going to give you the credit for your course, but it's also a learning opportunity. It's a learning opportunity that will help you in future tasks that you may have. So people, in summary, you have to plan. The first stage, you have to invent your topic, but taking into account the materials that you're going to consult. Then you have to write, okay, write. Then you have to rewrite if it is necessary. So I'm going to ask in this assignment or this task that those students who had corrections on their first paragraph, you have to correct those mistakes and rewrite your paragraph one more time, okay? But I'm going to explain that at the end, okay? Let's look at this example, students. You see, this sample was taken from csun.edu, okay? You have to cite the source, okay, if you are taking some information from a site or book. Alexander the Great was a successful ruler because his actions created long-lasting effects on cultures that continue to the present day. What is the topic sentence in this? Let's read the whole paragraph. One example of his legacy was the creation of a Hellenistic society. Hellenism was the combination of Greek, Persian, and Egyptian cultures. During this remarkable time period, people were encouraged to pursue a formal education and produce many different kinds of art. New forms of math, science, and design made a great impact on society. In this new way of life had not been as successful as it was, Alexander's legacy would not be as memorable and groundbreaking. Because he conquered many countries and blended together many different cultures, Alexander the Great is widely recognized for his achievements and credited with being one of the greatest rulers in history. As you could notice, this is a good paragraph. Why? Because it has all the elements of a good paragraph. As you can notice, this sentence here is the topic sentence. Alexander the Great was a successful ruler because his actions created long-lasting effects on cultures that continue to the present day. Period here, okay? I forgot to put it, but you need a period there. So these three first lines are the topic sentence. The other ones, Hellenism up to here onto groundbreaking, from Hellenism to groundbreaking, these are the topic sentences, okay? Topic supporting sentences. Supporting sentences. And the last one, because he conquered many countries and blended together many different cultures, Alexander, okay? And these other words are the concluding sentences, okay? So the supporting ideas are these, as I told you, then the concluding sentence. What do you think? How could you improve this paragraph? Okay? How could you do it? If you need to rewrite this paragraph again, what would you add? Think for a moment. What would you add? Probably you would add some transition words, right? Some transition words. But if you could notice this concluding sentence, it says, because he conquered many countries and blended together many different cultures, Alexander the Great is widely recognized for his achievements and credited with being one of the greatest rulers in history. It was not necessary to add, for example, a transition word finally, in conclusion, in sum up, and so other words. No, I think that the sense is here. It is not necessarily even to use a transition word because if you read these lines, you immediately are going to realize that this is the concluding sentence. Okay? So it depends on the way you write if you need transition words. Sometimes it is not necessary to use transition words because the way you write makes it clear what you are trying to say or what you're trying to transmit. Okay, students? So in some cases, it is not necessary to use transition words because the way you write it is good. But when you use transition words, it makes your writing richer, okay? Richer because in this way you keep the coherence, okay? But for example, here it says one example of his, it is a transition word. Okay, one example is the same as for instance, for example. So it is good. This writer is not using a lot of transition words because of the way he writes is very clear. So let's continue. Students, this is the task that you have for today. You have to revise and rewrite your first paragraph, okay? You have to rewrite and revise and rewrite your first paragraph. You have to improve it. Improve it. I made some corrections there, and if you can analyze your paragraph better, you can do it. You can improve your paragraph. Write it and then send that to me. Then you have to brainstorm, follow the steps I explained to you on this video. Brainstorm about your second paragraph. You are going to keep the same topic, okay, but this time you are going to add another paragraph to your topic, not to your topic sentence. Because you know the title of your composition is one thing and the topic sentence is another. One title can be divided into several paragraphs. Now you already wrote your first paragraph, but this time you are going to write your second paragraph about the same topic. But you are going to focus on another aspect, okay? Another aspect is going to be discussed in your second paragraph. Then you have to make an outline for your second paragraph. Please, people, follow the steps. If you don't follow the steps, you are going to get lost. Make an outline for your second paragraph. Collect information about your topic. Okay, collect information. Yes, you can go to internet, you can go to books and make some research about your topic, but be careful, don't take the information entirely and copy to your work. No, it's not good, and I'm going to realize about it. I have some tools to investigate if you have made plagiarism. So collect information. Yes, you can consult, you can see different points of view, and then you get your own point of view, and then you write it on your paper, on your piece of paper, or on your computer. Then you are going to start writing your second paragraph. Okay? Then you are going to revise it, and finally you are going to submit your task for feedback. Okay? I'm going to give you time. You can take this afternoon to do that, but I want you to do a good work. It doesn't matter if you take hours to do that, but you can do it. I'm sure you can do it because you are in second year and you can write a good paragraph. Okay, take into account the different elements of a good paragraph: topic, sentence, supporting sentence. You provide examples, then you close with a concluding sentence. Okay, if you have any question, you can let me know, and I will answer you as soon as possible. We are improving. This is a lab. This is not going to the NASA, okay? So don't worry if you're still improving that skill, but I'm sure you can do it, okay, students? Have a nice time and start working.